Hi, everyone. My name is Gabriel Pena, and I will be participating in the additional debate. Did President Trump successfully address and deal with the coronavirus pandemic? And to answer that question, no. I don't believe President Trump, nor anyone in his administration in general, has successfully tackled the coronavirus pandemic in a very logical or even effective way. Um, President Trump was informed early on in mid to early or mid January to early February about the coronavirus and how the U.S. was not prepared to deal with a health crisis such as the coronavirus. Um, we haven't faced such a strong health crisis since the 1918 influenza pandemic, and even then we barely got through that. And to kind of see our nation's leader not tackle it or create any preventative measures or reactionary measures or just preparing the country in general for this health crisis is shocking. And for him to come out on live television and joke about it, calling the coronavirus, in mid January just a seasonal flu, it's shocking to see. And now looking here now, it's mid April, and we're in the midst of this pandemic. Um, his he cut the funding to the WHO, citing that the WHO was hiding key details about the coronavirus and trying to cover up as many details as they can, because supposedly they're supporting the Chinese government and trying to hide as many details as possible, which is kind of funny. Um, or the president's support for his miracle drug, hydroxychloroquine. Hydroxychloroquine. The president, early on during the coronavirus pandemic, has put this drug on a pedestal, saying that this malaria drug is a key to combating the coronavirus. And looking now at all the reports and studies that have been done so far, hydroxychloroquine has no results saying that it helps to combat the coronavirus. Instead, it's putting more patients at risk for further health complications, um, with worse respiratory problems and even leading to death. This drug is just not the way forward, and yet the president still continues to support it. Or even the mass shortage of coronavirus test kits and ventilators. The federal government has the power to step in and call upon corporations to do their duty and help create as many ventilators and these test kits as possible. And it just seems that the federal government has not found the incentive or desire to use their power for the greater good of the country and helping everyone at risk. Um, Even giving the power primarily towards the governors to figure out how to reopen how to reopen the country and how to protect their states. Um, that's a heavy burden for these governors to have, especially when you don't have the financial resources needed to actually combat the coronavirus. So it's kind of hard to see how the federal government isn't stepping in more and helping out these states, and instead almost taking a sidelines approach and just going to the chalkboard and just trying to figure it out as quickly as possible. Um, Even these news briefings that we get, the White House and the coronavirus task force are not on the same page, with most of the time almost being like a comedic, sideshow going on, with Dr. Fauci, the face of the NIH, the director, saying one thing and the president contradicting him and saying another, all on live television. It doesn't give the support this country needs to deal with the coronavirus. And instead, it makes us feel that this might go on for a lot longer than it should be. Um, Jobs, look at unemployment. Right now, it says or Americans have reported that 26 million of Americans are unemployed, and that potentially our unemployment rate is between 15 to 20%. That is nearing the level of the Great Depression. So it's shocking just to see the lack of results being done by the federal government just to step in and say, hey, 26 million Americans are out of jobs. We need to step in and help them. And even this relief package, it's nice, but it doesn't solve a lot of the problems that we currently are facing. And just lastly, 2020 is a U.S. presidential election year. And with this pandemic hitting in the heart of the election, a lot of states have yet to even hold their primaries. And now, because of this whole pandemic, the lack of response by the federal government, I think this will be a big game changer for the 2020 presidential election. And I think we're gonna see by the the voter turnout and how and the results of our elections, I think will clearly show just how much this pandemic has affected our election. Yeah, I want to thank you guys for listening. I love to hear your feedback and hear what everyone else has to say. Thank you guys.